Good morning. Just thought we could have a little chit chat as I'm trying to curl all this hair, this unruly hair. So I was thinking every morning when we wake up, our brains try to keep us in a place of safety. And I don't know if it's something we consciously are aware of, but I've learned to spot it. In other words, there's dreams and there's things that are in each of our heart that we want to achieve, whether it's buying a bigger house or a nicer car or doing something for someone we love, like our children, to make their lives easier. It takes money, it takes resources. And if you don't have those resources, then I know that deep down inside in your heart, you want those resources to be able to achieve those things. The problem is that we don't, when you think about it, why don't you have those resources right now? Well, there could be many reasons why you don't have them. But the reality is that you can get them. Doesn't matter what childhood you had, what life circumstances came your way, divorce, bankruptcy, all the crappy things. You can literally decide today, you know what, this is what I want and this is what I'm going to go for. So what's holding us back from where we are right now to where it is that we want to go? Well, habits, our behavior patterns, but most importantly, it's how we think every day. What is our brain, our computer telling us? How is it directing our steps? Okay. And so when we wake up in the morning, if we are not intentional about wrangling in our thoughts and controlling the narrative, not just for that day, but for that week and for that month and for that year. But it all seems so overwhelming if we think of it like that. So you have to narrow it down to the present. How am I thinking right now? What am I thinking right now? Am I listening to myself or am I talking to myself? Because, and I've mentioned this before, our brains will default to our comfort zone. I notice it all the time with me, and I'm very self-aware in this area, guys. I mean, I've written a book, in the personal growth genre, and I still struggle sometimes with controlling the narrative in my head because our brains are designed to keep us safe, okay? Your brain is always going to tell you that everything's, like good enough. Like normal is just good enough. But in actuality, it's not just good enough, because if it was good enough, then you wouldn't want those other things. You'd be completely happy and content right now today where your life is at. And you're not. I'm not. Nobody is. I mean, we are to a certain extent, you understand, but we always want something more. If you don't want something more, if you don't have goals, if you don't have desires to achieve something more, then are you even alive? Okay. So, and you should want something more. If not for yourself, let's say you've reached a level of success where you're like, girl, I'm good. I don't need anything. Okay. Well, then you should be looking into serving others. You can use your time and the resources that God has given you. And when I say resources, not necessarily money, but your skills, your gifts, to enrich and help the lives of others who are struggling. And there are many people that are struggling. Okay. So there's always an opportunity to want to do more, is what I'm saying. So we have to look at what we can control, and 99.9% of the time it is our own behavior and our own thoughts. And so that's why I made this little video, because I wanted you to understand that everything is a trade-off. So when you wake up in the morning, what are you doing? Are you turning on the news first thing and letting that program your mind? Because I don't know about you, but after I listen to the news, I just want to get right back in my bed and pull the covers over my head because it's so depressing. There's so many things coming at us that are just depressing that we can't do anything about most of the time, okay? So we have to take control, is what I'm saying. This whole pep talk here is we have to take control of the narrative. We have to talk to ourselves as opposed to just listening to what is rumbling around in our head. Everything that we think, our opinion of ourselves, our opinion of others, our belief system and what we can achieve and not achieve, our level of confidence, self-confidence, our level of self-concept and what we think of ourselves, all of those things are taught to us from childhood. We are not born having low self-confidence. We are not born thinking and being jealous of other people or comparing ourselves to others. We're not born having limited expectations in life. We're not. We are taught that over time. So it's extremely important to get inside your own head and start controlling the narrative every single morning. Now, if you have a Christian faith like I do, you can pray. But I'm going to tell you right now, straight up, real talk, sometimes I feel like prayer is, dare I say, not enough right now. In other words, I pray, but God doesn't just say, oh, Diamond wants something here. Let me just get on it. No, it's like I pray and I put it out there for him, and then he does it in his own time. So how do I control myself while I'm waiting on God? That's what I need to focus on, because that is what is in my control. So having a morning routine is very important, and it doesn't have to be some long, drawn out, hour-long or even half an hour-long routine. It could be a quick prayer, some like 5 minutes of stretching, you get your green juicing in, maybe like, write in your journal like for 5 minutes, like, what do I want to focus on today? What do I want to have accomplished by the time I lay my head on my pillow tonight? Quick, maybe 15, 30 minutes of morning routine to prime yourself. And then you can, set a Pomodoro timer, like, they call it the Pomodoro technique, but you can set a timer, and do time blocking where you, block out an hour here and an hour there to accomplish tasks that you normally procrastinate on. For me, it's like paperwork. I don't like paperwork, where you sit down and you're like, got to go through all the mail and pay bills and file stuff. And, no, I want an assistant one day to just going to do all that for me. But until then, I got to do it. So whatever it is that you're not wanting to do, you need to set a timer so that your brain can just focus on that one task and you can get it done. Okay. So morning routine, and then, time blocking so that you can maximize your day, avoiding distractions and negative people, because I can tell you right now, that is very crippling for you first thing in the morning. I used to date someone who would call me in the morning, and I'd love to hear from him, of course. And then he would just dump all of his negativity, and this person didn't call him back for that job or this or that. And I just was like, oh my God, after I got off the call, I felt so drained. So if you have someone in your life that has the propensity to do those type of things when you talk to them, you're gonna have to let that go to voicemail. Not every day, but just on the days when you really want to hunker down and see progress and you want to get things done. You want to have that sense of accomplishment. So I just want to encourage you to control the narrative, take control of your mind, have your morning routine, have your little schedule every single day. That is the only way the needle is going to move for you to see success in your life, for you to see something different than what you're seeing right now. And remember, everything is a trade-off. You have to give up something to get something you've never had before. There's an old saying that you have to, in order to have something you've never had before, you have to become someone you've never been before. So I just want to encourage you and inspire you to Get off the couch, get off social media, scrolling, mindless, numbing, checking out, scrolling. Get away from all of those type of behaviors and start focusing on what the things that you really want to accomplish, because time is ticking for all of us and none of us know how much time we have left. We think from day to day, oh, we just have so much time and we're just so laissez-faire about life. But when you go to assisted living homes, like I've spent a lot of time in an assisted living home because of caring for my neighbor, I see the other side of life, and it is blaring, guys. It is loud. It is like, hey, this is where we all end up. So what are you going to do between right now, today, where you are at 53 years old or however old you are, between now and when you get there? Because you will get there. You will get there. If you're lucky, if you don't die before then, you will get there. So what do you want to accomplish? What are those dreams in your heart that you want to bring life to? Stop procrastinating. Stop numbing out. Stop complaining. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop getting caught up in the minutia of being distracted constantly. And by the way, that's something I struggle with. So I'm preaching to me, I'm preaching to you. And I'm hoping that you will take my hand and you will take this advice and this wisdom, and you will let me pull you out of your funk and get unstuck and come with me today. Get yourself dressed, okay? Especially if you're a woman, get yourself dressed, do your hair, do your makeup, make yourself as pretty as you can be, so that when you look in that mirror this morning, you say, you know what? I look good, or I put in all the effort, to make myself feel the most amazing version of myself, because you deserve that. You absolutely deserve that. And so no matter what all is going on in your life, what struggles, what tribulations, what hardships, who's trying to pull you down, what's going on, if you're in a breakup or you're lost your job, or you're going through bankruptcy, or you're dealing with the death of a loved one, all those things suck. Yes, they do. But you are still you, and you are strong, and you deserve to tap into that inner strength that's in you and pull yourself up right now. I'm not saying all your problems are going to go away. Yes, they'll be there. But for now, I need you to step out of that for a second. And I need you to latch on and come up, because you can't fix your problems if you're in the mindset of a victim and you're complaining and you're just woe is me. You've got to think differently just for right now, just for this next 20 minutes. I want you to just allow yourself to start thinking about what you want and write it down so you can visually see it. And then I want you to set a little schedule today. Today's Sunday. Okay, great. It's Sunday. You're probably not at work today. So this is the day to work on yourself. So I want you to write down your goals, and I want you to carve out a little bit of time today to focus on your dreams, where you want to go. Okay? You deserve that. I know you want that for yourself, and I want that for you. So this is the pep talk that I did not think was even in me. I was curling my hair and I just wanted to talk with you. So I don't know how I'm going to post this. It's about 14 minutes long, but I hope this helps you to believe in yourself, to get up off your butt and start taking charge, because that's the only way things are going to change. I love you, and I want you to enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day weekend, and I love you.